You're driving your Porsche 911 on a perfect Sunday morning. The flat six is singing. The road is empty. Everything feels right. Then you hear it. A metallic rattle from deep inside the engine. Faint at first, then louder. Within seconds, the engine seizes. Complete failure. You coast to the shoulder in silence. The diagnosis: catastrophic IMS bearing failure. The repair bill: $15,000. Maybe more. Here's the part that makes it worse. Porsche knew this could happen. They installed this bearing in hundreds of thousands of cars. And for years, they said nothing. This is the story of the most expensive design flaw in Porsche history, and how to tell if your car is next. Let's start with what this thing actually is. IMS stands for intermediate shaft. It's a component inside the M96 and M97 engines, the engines Porsche used in the 911 from 1997 to 2008. The intermediate shaft sits between the crankshaft and the camshafts. Its job is to drive the camshafts that open and close your engine's valves. The shaft spins at engine speed, thousands of RPMs constantly, for the entire life of the engine, and it spins on a bearing. That bearing is sealed. It's packed with grease at the factory. And in theory, it should last the life of the car. In reality, however, that bearing can fail. And when it does, the consequences are catastrophic. The bearing disintegrates. Metal fragments circulate through the engine. The intermediate shaft stops spinning. The timing goes out. Valves hit pistons. Engine destruction. Complete and total. And here's the brutal part. There's often no warning, no check engine light, no gradual degradation. One moment your engine is fine. The next moment, it's scrap metal. Porsche owners call it the ticking time bomb. So, which cars have this problem? Any Porsche with the M96 or M97 engine. That includes the 996 Generation 911, 1999 to 2005. Every single one. Carrera, Carrera S, Carrera 4, Turbo, the 997 Generation 911, 2005 to 2008. But only the early models. Porsche redesigned the bearing partway through production. The Cayman, 2006 to 2008, early models. As for the Boxster models, all 9871 Boxster models from 2005 to 2008 have the IMS bearing issue, but the risk of failure is lower than in 986 models. The most vulnerable are 2005 models, which have the single-row design, and some early 2006, while 2006 to 2008 models have a larger, generally more durable, but non-serviceable bearing. Fortunately, 9872 models from 2009 to 2012 have no IMS bearing. Now here's where it gets complicated. Not all IMS bearings are the same. Porsche used 3 different designs. The single-row bearing, used in early 996 and 986 Boxsters. This one has a failure rate around 1 to 2%, low, but not zero. The dual-row bearing, used in later 996 and early 997s. This is the problem child. Failure rate estimated between 5 and 8%, some say higher. The upgraded bearing, introduced in 2006 for the 997. Larger, stronger, better sealed. Failure rate drops back to near zero, so if you own a 997 built after 2006, you're probably safe. If you own a 996 or early 997, you're in the danger zone. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Even the high-risk bearing fails less than 10% of the time, which means 90% of cars never have a problem. So why does everyone panic? Because when it fails, it's $15,000. And there's no way to predict which cars will be in that 10%. It's Russian roulette with a very expensive bullet. So what actually causes the failure? Porsche has never given a definitive answer. But the Porsche community has done the detective work. The leading theory: inadequate lubrication. Remember, the bearing is sealed. The grease inside is supposed to last forever. But sealed bearings rely on perfect seals. And if those seals degrade, even slightly, the grease leaks out. Once the grease is gone, metal grinds on metal. The bearing overheats. The rollers crack. The cage disintegrates, which leads to complete engine failure. Here's the ironic part. The cars most likely to fail aren't the high-mileage track cars, but the ones that sit for weeks or months without being driven. Why? Because when a Porsche sits, the grease in the bearing settles. It pools at the bottom. The top of the bearing runs dry. When you finally start the car, that dry bearing spins at high RPM before the grease redistributes. Damage accumulates. Over years it adds up. Then one day, catastrophic failure. The cars that get driven regularly, even hard, tend to fare better. The grease stays distributed. The bearing stays lubricated. So the worst thing you can do to a 996 is baby it. Porsche engineers designed these cars to be driven. When you don't drive them, things break. So you own a 996 or early 997. How do you know if your bearing is about to fail? The honest answer: you don't. IMS bearing failure is usually sudden, no symptoms, no warning signs. But there are a few things to watch for. Metallic debris in your oil. If you see sparkles or metal flakes during an oil change, that's a red flag. It means something inside the engine is disintegrating. A rattling noise from the engine at idle, faint and metallic. This could be the bearing, or it could be something else. But it's worth investigating. Oil leaks around the rear main seal or IMS bearing area. If the bearing seal is failing, you might see oil weeping from that area. But here's the problem. Most IMS failures happen without any of these symptoms. The bearing just fails. Instantly. Catastrophically. So monitoring symptoms isn't enough. The only way to know for sure is to inspect the bearing, or replace it. Which brings us to the big question. Should you replace your IMS bearing preemptively? It depends. If you're planning to keep the car long-term, many owners say yes. The peace of mind is worth it. If you're flipping the car or only keeping it a few years, maybe not. The failure rate is still relatively low. But here's what you need to know about replacement. It's not cheap. The bearing itself costs $300 to $500. Not terrible. But the labor is brutal. To access the IMS bearing, the transmission has to come out. That's 8 to 12 hours of labor. Total cost, $2,500 to $4,000 at a Porsche specialist. More at a dealer. So you're spending $4,000 to prevent a problem that might never happen. It's a gamble either way. Here's where the aftermarket stepped in. Companies like LN Engineering and Pelican Parts developed upgraded IMS bearings. These aren't the factory Porsche bearings. They're redesigned from the ground up. Larger rollers, better seals, external lubrication. Some upgraded bearings can even be greased from outside the engine. You don't have to drop the transmission ever again. The cost is similar to the factory bearing, around $500 for the part, but installation is the same. Transmission out, 8 to 12 hours of labor. Many Porsche specialists recommend going with the upgraded bearing if you're doing the job anyway. It's engineered to outlast the car. But here's the controversial part. Some Porsche purists argue you shouldn't touch it. Their logic: if the bearing hasn't failed yet, why risk introducing new problems during installation? What if the mechanic makes a mistake? What if the new bearing isn't installed perfectly? You could create a failure that wouldn't have happened otherwise. It's a valid point, but most specialists disagree. Their view: the upgraded bearing is so much better than the original that the risk is worth it, especially if you're already doing the clutch. Since the transmission is out anyway, you might as well do the bearing. Kill two birds with one stone. Now for the uncomfortable question. Did Porsche know about this problem? Yes. We know this because of lawsuits. Multiple class action lawsuits were filed against Porsche over the IMS bearing. Internal documents revealed that Porsche was aware of bearing failures as early as 2001. They quietly redesigned the bearing in 2006. Larger, stronger, better. But they never issued a recall. They never admitted fault. Their official position: the IMS bearing failure rate is within acceptable limits, and technically, they're right. A 5 to 8% failure rate, while devastating to individual owners, is statistically low for a mass-produced component. Other manufacturers have had worse, but here's why Porsche owners are angry. This isn't a $200 alternator. This is a $15,000 engine replacement. and Porsche sold these cars as bulletproof German engineering. The 911 was supposed to be the reliable sports car, the one you could daily drive, the one that didn't break. And for most owners it is. But for that unlucky 8%, it's a financial disaster. Some owners have spent more on IMS bearing repairs than they paid for the car. That's the real betrayal. Not that the bearing fails, but that Porsche knew and said nothing. So here's the question everyone asks. Should you avoid 996 and early 997s entirely? No. Here's why. These are incredible cars. The 996 brought water cooling and modern performance to the 911. The 997 refined it. They're faster, more reliable, and easier to live with than air-cooled 911s. And they're cheap. You can buy a 996 Carrera for $30,000 to $40,000. That's Corvette money for a Porsche 911. Yes, the IMS bearing is a risk, but it's a manageable risk. If you're buying one of these cars, here's what you do. Get a pre-purchase inspection. Specifically ask about IMS bearing history. Has it been replaced? Is there metal in the oil? Budget for IMS bearing replacement. Even if the car is fine now, plan to spend $4,000 at some point. Drive the car regularly. Don't let it sit. These engines need to be used. Consider it part of ownership, like tires or brakes. It's just a more expensive maintenance item. And remember, 90+% of these cars never have a problem. The IMS bearing is the most talked about Porsche issue because it's dramatic. Engine failures make headlines, but most 996 and 997 owners drive their cars for years without incident. The fear is worse than the reality. The IMS bearing is Porsche's dirty secret, a design flaw that affected hundreds of thousands of cars. A problem Porsche knew about and quietly fixed without ever admitting fault. But it doesn't have to be a deal breaker. If you know what you're buying, if you inspect carefully, if you budget for the fix, these cars are still some of the best values in the Porsche world. The 996 and early 997 are incredible machines. Fast, reliable, affordable. Just make sure you understand the risk. Thanks for watching the Porsche Files. If this helped you, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.